1, 2, 3.
Why not, Katie? Because I told.
All right. So, here's what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, by being prepared for tomorrow. This is again another set. Okay? This is the 5 bottles that I have up here. I have copper 2 chloride, cobalt 2 chloride, silver nitrate, copper 2 nitrate, cobalt 2 nitrate. Before I would ever do anything, I know I have 2 pink solutions because 2 of them contain cobalt. I know I have 2 blue solutions because 2 of them contain copper. And I have that silver nitrate, with this, which is that dark gray bottle with all the pitting on it and discoloration. So I'm going to be able to identify some things very easily, or at least limit them down. I went through and I did all of my predictions here. Now, I was supposed to get 2 precipitates, and I found them. They are right here. They are silver nitrate with copper chloride and silver nitrate with cobalt chloride. Those are the 2 precipitates that I am expecting to find in this lab. So, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that I also took the time, after I did this, to write down how many precipitates everything forms. Okay? So I've got 1 for copper chloride, 1 for cobalt chloride, 2 for silver nitrate, 0 for copper nitrate, and 0 for cobalt nitrate. Now, normally, this 0 and 0 would be a problem because I can't identify them if they don't react with anything. However, since 1 is copper and 1 is cobalt, one of these is going to be blue and 1 is going to be pink. That's what allows me to identify them. And of the 2 pink ones, 1 will have a reaction and 1 will not. And of the 2 blue ones, 1 will have a reaction here and 1 will not. That is enough for me to identify everything that is up here. Okay? So again, I have created my predictions. I found my 2 that are going to precipitate. Over here, I have down that copper chloride will make 1 precipitate. It is blue, and it's going to do that with silver nitrate. I have a pink cobalt chloride that is going to make 1 precipitate, and again, it is with the silver nitrate. I'm not requiring you to do this. I'm not even technically grading that. But this is what's going to help me solve what's in each bottle when it comes to time. So, when I look at those 5 bottles, though, ladies and gentlemen, I can clearly identify one of them. And I can narrow 2 others down. So, excuse me. So when I get to this table, this is the results table. People have been asking me, Mr. Brand, what do I put down here? Nothing for now. You put nothing in here. Okay? But what I do know, and what I am able to tell you right now, is that bottle number 8 is the silver nitrate in this group because of its color. So I am able to identify AgNO3. I am also able to identify that 6 and 7 contain copper because they are blue in color. Meaning one of them needs to be copper chloride, one of them needs to be copper nitrate. And 9 and 10 down here, ladies and gentlemen, have to have cobalt compounds in them because they, again, are pink. And one of them will react with the silver nitrate and one of them will not. My job is to figure out which is which. So now you have a 5x5 grid up here. Okay? And again, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to do this in the lab, this is what your sheet will look like. All of these sheets are highlighted for you. The highlighting helps you to get the solutions into the correct places. So that when you are doing it, solution 6 will go everywhere where there is green and no X. Solution 7 will go everywhere where there is yellow and no X. Again, we don't need to put it on the X because the X is the spot where you would literally be mixing the same two solutions. So we don't need to do it. So now I'm going to grab bottle number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's a good idea to shake them up when you start. They haven't been used in 12 weeks. Okay? Especially the one with iron in it. The color of that orange-brown, you don't see really well until you shake it up and get it remixed a little bit. Okay? So 6 goes everywhere where there is green. 1, 2, 3, 4. One dot, one drop. Put the cover back on when you are done. Put it down. Grab number 7. 7 goes everywhere where there is yellow. Now, even though this is copper and this is copper, I'm still going to do all of the reactions on this plate. Just so that I don't confuse myself, so that I can always go back to them later and I will explain what I mean. So 7 goes here, 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 and here. One drop in each. Now number 8, the silver nitrate, the one I know for sure. One drop here, one here, one here, and I put a couple there. Stuff happens. Solution 9, here, 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 and here. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, solution 10, straight across the bottom. Now, ultimately what you are looking for are precipitates. A solid that settles out of solution. In this case, they're normally floating on the top. You should be able to recognize them very easily. If you mix a clear solution and a pink solution and it turns a little red, that's not a precipitate. That's called mixing red and clear together. So you should be able to find 2 precipitates in this lab. Now, even with the light on, even with the way it is here, we can see that this one is a precipitate. Okay? You could tell that from hopefully where you're sitting. The next one I'm going to take and I'm going to move it off of this sheet again, only because I think it will be easier to see. Okay? And where do you see something that looks like a precipitate? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Third one. 3 over. There is a precipitate right there, ladies and gentlemen. That white in the middle. Now, it isn't very good. Why? Because I kind of missed the drops. I didn't get them exactly on top of one another. Okay? But that, of all of them, is the one that is precipitating. And even as we're sitting here, the white is getting a little bit more there. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to, on here, you could write down where you actually got a reaction. And I got a reaction in this spot right here. 8 and 6, I got a reaction. So I could, down here, put an R. That is the world's ugliest R. Put an R for a reaction. Because this is a spot where 2 of them reacted together. The other spot where they reacted together was this one right here, 9 and 8. There is a reaction here. Now, those are the 2 precipitates that I was expecting to find, and those were the 2 that I found on my reaction plate. Okay? Now I just need to figure out what this means. Well, again, one of the things that we said earlier was that silver nitrate will make 2 precipitates. Silver nitrate also happens to be number 8. And 8 and 6 precipitated, and 8 and 9 precipitated. How do I know? This box is the combination of this box and this box. That is 8 and 9. There are my two precipitates for the silver nitrate. Now, I also know that 6 and 7 have to be the copper solutions because they were blue. Only one of them was supposed to react with the silver nitrate, copper chloride. Well, only one of the two reacted with number 8. That was number 6. 7 did not. That tells me then that 6, ladies and gentlemen, must be the copper chloride. And that 7 must be the copper nitrate. Now, with 8 and 9, or 9 and 10, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for the one of them that also reacted with 8, because the one that reacted with 8 should be the cobalt chloride. Here's the reaction. It is between 9 and 8. That tells me that 9, ladies and gentlemen, is the cobalt chloride. And that 10 has to be the cobalt nitrate. So I have just identified all 5. Questions? Now, tell me how I lost the point. Nope, don't need to. If those were what I put on my answer sheet, how did I lose the point? What's that? Nope. Again, this is the very front. Forget about this. This is the very front page.
Oh.
Okay, this would be like A, B, C, and D. Those are what I wrote down for A, B, C, and D. Tell me what's wrong with them, ladies and gentlemen. There is no balancing here. These are not reactions. These are 5 formulas for 5 compounds. And I lost the point on this. Why? Anyone? Cobalt 2 nitrate, cobalt 2 chloride, silver nitrate, copper 2 nitrate, copper 2 chloride. How did I lose a point? Nope.
You said copper 2.
I did.
So then the nitrates would be in parentheses.
Correct. I wrote 2 wrong formulas here. 2 wrong formulas. Very easily done. Copper 2 chloride is not CuCl. Copper 2 chloride is CuCl2. Copper 2 nitrate is not CuNO3. It is CuNO3, 2. I would have lost 1 point in this set, meaning that if I make this mistake 3 more times, I'm down 5%. Okay? Half a point for every formula you get wrong. You get 6 half points off, 3 points, your grade goes down 5%. It is very easy to accidentally write the wrong formula. But that is all on grading. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, I've had people who got every one on this wrong for the formulas. Do you know why? They decided to write down the names. They didn't give me any formulas. They literally wrote all the names down on the first page. Copper 1 or copper 2 chloride, copper 2 nitrate. I didn't ask you for names, I asked you for formulas. You are going to lose a point for that. Okay? Or a half a point for each one of those you do. I literally, out of this whole packet, am grading the very first page front and back. That's all I have to grade. Okay? All I have to grade. Now, let's talk about one last thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is these reactions. You are to write 4 chemical reactions, ladies and gentlemen. 4 chemical reactions. Now, your reaction has to be for a precipitate in a set. Otherwise, there is no reaction. So it has to be for one of the precipitates in the set. So when you are doing this, ladies and gentlemen, you need to write down what the reactants are. Okay? Now the reactants are given to you on the side and on the top. So this box right here where this is created is between copper copper, not cobalt. Copper chloride, that is aqueous, and silver nitrate, that is aqueous. You will create 2 products. They are the 2 products that you have listed in here. That is what you will write down for your products. Product 1 plus product 2. One of these will be aqueous. The other one will be the precipitate, and you already know what the precipitate is because you circled it. So you will write down reactant plus reactant produces product plus product. All your formulas need to be correct, and then you need to balance it. Now, I've had people coming up to me over the last couple of days. Well, Mr. Brand, what if I don't need to add any numbers to balance it? Then don't. If you picked ones where everything is a 1, I have absolutely no problem with that. But you better make darn sure every one of your formulas is correct. Otherwise, you might not be balancing it correctly. And if I find one thing wrong with that reaction, you lose all 5% for it. If you do not tell me aqueous, 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 and solid in the right spot, you lose the 5%. If you do not tell me what the 2 products are written correctly, you lose the 5%. If you do not tell me what the balanced equation is correctly, you lose the 5%. Now you're sitting there going, man, he's a jerk. You can look it up. Google it if you can figure out a way to. I don't care. Why? I think you can do this. But I'm giving you 5% for the effort you put in to writing 4 good balanced chemical equations. And if you take the equation and put it into Google and it spits out a balanced chemical equation for you, I'm fine with it. Copy it down. Go ahead. I'll kill you in the 2nd trimester when you can't Google things. Okay? So again, this is a lab where it is very easy to get 100% on. Very easy. But it is also very easy to make tiny little mistakes that may end up costing you. Now you're wondering why I've given you 3 days to practice and get ready for this. Every formula you should need, you should be double checking, ladies and gentlemen. Double checking that I got the right formulas. Matter of fact, what I would probably do if I were you is on the front page, I would write the correct formula for each one of these compounds so that when you go to put it down in here, you're not relying on flipping back 3 pages, getting the formula, bringing it forward, and putting it on here. You could be on one page in the lab, your partner could be on the other, and you could be listing all of these so that you get them right. Because I don't want to see you make simple mistakes that are going to harm you, that are going to hurt your grade. You got to know what the charge is of this, you got to know what the charge is of that, and you got to know what the compound looks like together. And again, you have plenty of time to get this done. Okay? Questions? Now, I am going to remind you of some of these things tomorrow. The part about the caps, not contaminating the bottles. What I mean by that is, if you take this cap and put it on the bottle that has the chloride in it, it will start precipitating out in the bottle, and that bottle will be ruined. So I'm asking you, take the cap off, use it, put the cap back on, set it down, move to your next one. There will be 3 setups of every station in the back. I don't care where you start, I don't care where you end, you got to get through all 6. You got 90 minutes to do it. Okay? 90 minutes. That literally gives you 15 minutes at every station. Okay? Should not take you that long. But again, we're assuming a couple things. One, we're assuming that you got the 4 chemical equations written in balance before you walk in tomorrow. Why? Because otherwise you need to take time to do that. Okay? I'm assuming that you have all your formulas written down so that you get them correct when it comes time to do that. Okay? Again, all can be done ahead of time. Just need to finish it when you get here. Questions? All right. These are just my reminders about a final exam, ladies and gentlemen. And that is this. You need to be on time. First of all, because it may take you an hour and a half to do it. It might. I don't know. Probably won't, but it might. But number 2 is if you are not in this room by 9:30 on Thursday, you're not doing the lab. You're not doing the lab. I will send you away. I'm not interrupting everybody so you can come in late and do it. You are not here by 9:30. The time that you will come in and do it is you will come in and do it between 11:30 and 3 o'clock. Probably closer to noon to 3 o'clock. Okay? And you will still only get 90 minutes to do it, and you will be doing it alone. Be on time. Bring your periodic table, your solubility chart. Bring your lab packet with you, because boy, it would suck to have to start all over with a new one tomorrow. And bring something to write with. You do not actually need your computers. Okay? If you want to bring them, I'm not stopping you, but you do not need them. You are here until 10:45. Do not come in and in 15 minutes ask me to use the bathroom. Why? Because the only way you leave the class is if you are escorted by a monitor. And here's the thing. They are very busy on that day because all of the freshmen got to pee. So they are literally running to every freshman room, and there's only so many of them. So if you ask me to use the bathroom, I will call for one. They will take probably a half an hour to get here, and by that time, either something bad has happened or you don't have to go anymore. Use the bathroom before you get here. I'm an old man. I can make it an hour and a half without having to pee. Right? If you think you're going to get done, bring something for after the final. Now, I know you guys are on Thursday. I know that's the last final, so I don't know what you could bring. But bring something to read. Bring something to entertain yourself. If you do finish early, because you cannot leave the class early. And plan accordingly with the bathroom. Questions? Okay. Everything is set up in the back for you if you want to go back and get this sheet to figure out what colors and things are. Please remember this middle part is the ion color. This bottom is the precipitate color. For the precipitates, those are the ones inside the boxes. Okay? And please remember, you cannot do anything with this table down at the bottom until tomorrow. And you don't actually have to do anything with it. If you can figure it out by looking at the tray and figuring out what reacted with what, you don't actually have to write anything in here. Because again, I am not looking at these pages. Now, the one thing I am going to do is you are going to show me this packet that you have all your predictions done. Because if you don't, you're going to sit at your desk until you get them all done. I don't care how long that takes you. So if you are done today and you want me to check it over and make sure they are all done, I will not make sure they are accurate, but I will go through and I will see if they are all done. I will put my initials at the top of the page. You can come in tomorrow when I say go, you can start. And if you're still finishing that part up, you're still going to have to finish that part up before you can begin. So again, if you're done, you don't have to be done with the 4 balanced equations. You only have to be done with the 6 tables at the top that show your precipitates. I will check that off for you today, and then when you come in tomorrow, you'll be able to get with your partner and go to work right away. Okay? Questions? Please remember, no more than 2 in a group tomorrow. I know there is an odd number of students in this class. It means one person is going to be working alone. I hope you figured out who it is, because if you've got a partner, I hope that partner is here tomorrow, because if they're not, you're working on your own anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Please feel free to go to work, do what you need to get done. If you want to, in a few minutes, you can start coming up to me and I will sign those for you if you have everything done and finished.
I'm having him
There you go.
say that I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie. There you go. Thank you, Crystal.
I still don't understand the purpose.
The what?
This page.
Okay. So, the purpose is for me to figure out which of these 5 solutions is in which of these 5 bottles. Okay? So, on here, I was able to figure out that bottle number 8 was the silver nitrate because of its color. So, like here, you would be putting that for like K. You would say K is that. Okay? So when you realize what's in one of the bottles, you're going to put it down here. That's your job. So I know that this is silver nitrate because of the bottle color. I know that these two are copper compounds, and these two are cobalt compounds. My question is, which one of those is cobalt chloride, which one is cobalt nitrate? I figured that out by figuring out which one of these reacted with this one. That's where my predictions up above came in. My prediction said that this one was going to react with this, but this one wasn't. So when I look at it, 10 didn't react with anything. But 9 had one reaction. What did it react with? Number 8. This one. I knew the cobalt chloride was supposed to react with it. Therefore, I know this one has to be cobalt chloride. The other one has to be the nitrate. The same up here. I knew the 2 blue solutions were 6 and 7. They had to contain copper. Now, one of them, this one, will react with this. This one will not. Well, when I looked it up, 6 reacted with 8. So 6 had to be the chloride one because it is the one that was supposed to react with this one. It will be a little bit easier when you get in the lab and you start doing this tomorrow. Okay?
So, do these matter for this?
What's that?
Do these help like with this one?
They do. Because in the end, what's going to happen is, okay, you're going to recognize this silver nitrate. Okay? You'll know right away A, B, C, or D which one it is. Okay? You'll also recognize this chromate one. Why? Because it'll be yellow. So you'll be able to say A, B, C, D which one it is. So now you're debating between these two. Well, the way I'm going to tell these two apart, this one doesn't react with anything. This one reacts with one thing. So the 2 bottles that I'm left with, whichever 2 they are, I expect one of those bottles to react with nothing, and I expect one of those bottles to react with one of these.
Okay.
That's how I'm going to identify.
And are you going to have like that sheet with the colors?
Yes, that's going to be out. Just like if you go back to a lab station right now and look at the lab station, that's exactly what it's going to be like tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
I didn't finish it. I just
What? I thought why are you handing this to me if it's not done?
Matt.
Oh, Matt. That's math. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly, that's what Ben's saying.
Right. Math isn't going to be helpful at all in the second half of this course.
Okay, I don't think logs will.
You're right. We do not get into law.
Exactly.
Can you rearrange a formula with 4 variables to solve for the one that's missing?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, then you're going to do well. I like the way you kind of are like, yeah, right. We're not going to do that in here. Yeah, we are. All the time. And in gas laws, there may be 5 variables.
Can I use the bathroom?
You certainly may. Put your phone there. Go.
No. I just doing it.
Don't forget to put your name on this also, please. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. There you go. You're welcome.
Oh wait, there's another silver nitrate.
Another silver nitrate? Doesn't that make it easy though? Sure does look like it, yeah.
Okay, so that's all you had to check.
I will sign it at the top so that tomorrow you can come in and you can get to it. There you go, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I? Yeah.
Yep.
You realize that wasn't even close to a complete sentence.
I think
It was, can you, yeah.
Can you check this?
I certainly can.
Thank you.
I don't know what they're doing.
You okay there, sir?
Yeah, I think so.
You hurt yourself coughing?
Yeah.
It's a bad thing nowadays. There's a lot of stuff going around. There you go, sir. Thank you. There you go.